What's up, y'all? Coach Cam and the Professor here from the Hold the Line crew, bringing you more NFL picks and props for the coming weekend. I don't know if you want to talk about last weekend, but I kind of do, so I'm going to, if that's okay with you. Um,
We just won't mention mine.
Myself personally, we were. You can't call it a perfect 7-0 because the touchdown didn't hit. We'll get into that a little bit. 3-0 on game lines, all bangers. 3-0 on player props. It was an absolutely surgical weekend. So for the 14 viewers that we have, and if you've listened and followed, you absolutely at least made your money back. Because I can't speak for how Will did. I was a toenail away from Keon Coleman catching a touchdown and going a perfect 7-0. They're not all going to be like that, obviously, but we got to continue to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, I mean, I my touchdown scorer had a good game. He just didn't score. Um, Steelers came out of nowhere and blew the brakes off the Jets. Didn't expect that one at all. Russ can
I
cook.
actually didn't either. I didn't either.
Um,
Russ
and
played
then
a game.
yeah, the Falcons sucked it up against the Seahawks, and DK went over my prop. That was my only prop to hit. Deontay Johnson is dead to me because I started him over Mike Evans and lost in fantasy because of it. Um, And then Sam Darnold could have had two passing touchdowns, but just some breaks didn't go his way in the Lions game.
I really feel like you were competitive. It just didn't
They
fall
were
in
all
your
there,
favor. Yeah.
except the Jets game. They were all there.
Yeah, I also, I mean, I didn't put it on the episode, but I also did not think that Russ was going to do well, and I was actually favoring the Jets in that game, and that did not
hmm
happen for me. That was one of my few losses. All right, you ready? Let's get into we're on week 8, right?
Week 8,
All right, let's get into week 8. Let's go with game lines first. Go ahead and start with your first one.
first one, Bengals -2.5. Bengals are hot, and the Eagles have not scored a first quarter point all year long.
Oh
Crazy.
yeah, wild stat. I'm gonna go. Let's go Falcons -2.5. I know they're coming off kind of a that's just a weird kind of down performance from them. I kind of expected them to come out with a little bit more fire. They're facing a banged up Buccaneers team this weekend, who I am furious at the Buccaneers coach, by the way, for how he handled the end of that game. You got one of your star guys who's having a career year, by the way. Chris Godwin out for the season now over a meaningless catch over the middle of the field on an illegal tackle, by the way. I think he got fined. Who tackled him? Was it Roquan?
I have no
I
clue.
think it was Roquan, and Roquan got fined for his a hip drop tackle. But
Yeah,
yeah, we'll go Falcons -2.5. I got a bounce back week for them against a banged up Buccaneers team.
I'm shocked this next one, this line is this low because of how good the Packers are and how bad the Jags are, but I do know the Packers love to play close games, so that's probably why it's this low. I got Packers -4 against the Jags. The Packers look good. They just beat a good Texans team,
Yeah,
and the Jags have not looked good. I mean, they're coming off a win in London, but we all know the Jaguars are good in London and bad in America, so
yeah.
yeah, Packers -4.
And they're coming off that too, so there might be some jet lag,
hmm
with that as well to give them kind of another advantage. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna skip around because we're gonna be at odds on the last one. So I'm gonna go Jets -7. Again, the jet lag deal, right? So Patriots coming back from playing overseas did not play well, by the way, and then I don't see them. I don't envision them playing well on the way back. At some point, the Jets' offense has got to click. There's just way too much talent, and they are facing one of the worst defenses that they're going to see all year. They let the Jaguars absolutely beat them up over in London. Tank Bigsby, who's a dog by the way, like don't get me wrong, but absolutely had his way with them, just like bullying them with runs up the middle. Everyone knew what they were going to do, and it just could not be stopped anyways. So let's go with Jets -7. Bounce back game for them as well.
Hopefully they don't burn you like they did me last week.
I know. Me
But
too.
yeah,
Me too.
yeah. My next one, it's a giant spread. Lions -11.5 versus the Titans -120. Road favorites this year. are 16-2 against the spread. And the Titans defense is good. The Lions offense is good. The Lions defense is good, but then the Titans offense is horrible, has Mason
Yep.
Rudolph running the ship.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, I think the Lions are not going to score as much as people think. They're probably going to score like 24, 28, but I think the Titans score max 10.
And so, and you said it at the beginning, giant spread. So like plus 12, minus 12, and or 11 in an NFL game that's definitely on the bigger side. You don't see a ton of those. Um, I think the Lions, they're coming off a tough game, a game where they had to work really hard. I think that's going to work against them. The Titans don't ever look like they work hard in games, so I feel like they're probably rested. The Lions kind of have that going. Like you said, the Titans' defense is pretty solid. Also, a little stat for you here: the Titans are 5-0 against the spread versus the Lions, probably because the spread is generally like minus 12, so it's pretty easy to cover because the Titans haven't been that good in a minute. But 5-0 against the spread, so I'll just continue it there. So I'm going to go Titans plus 12. I think it was 11.5 when I saw it, and I bought it up half a point. Could be
Yeah,
kind of fluctuating, but I'm going to go with the plus 12
yeah,
for the
I think
Titans.
it's up to 12 now, and I bought
Yeah.
it down a point because it was minus 105 for 12, and it's
Oh,
minus
cool.
120
That means they got like a minus
yeah,
115 looking. That's not
yeah.
bad. That'll play. All right, let's go into player props. Go with your first one.
He's back, baby. Hopefully he doesn't, you know, try and run over a linebacker for some reason. But Tua over 250 and a half passing yards this year. He could throw two deep balls to Tyreek and be halfway there already. And then you got Jalen Waddle, Odell. No, not
Yeah,
Odell. Um, but then he could also take a chain could take a screen to the house. So
true.
like, there's so many weapons that he just lays one out there and they do the rest of the work.
Yeah, I am all in on the Dolphins just looking like a completely different team because Tua's back. I think that's just going to be such an emotional boost for them. And in saying that, I'll kind of follow along a little bit different, but I'm going to go Tyreek Hill catching those bombs that you were talking about earlier, over 85 and a half receiving yards. Higher number, obviously, but I think they're going to play their butts off, and I think Tyreek's going to have a really good game. I think Tua is too.
And my next one, this guy hasn't had a blow up game in the last two games, and I think he's just kind of due because he's probably been a top two, top three, if not one, best receiver in the league this year. I think Jamar Chase goes over 77 and a half receiving yards. Like, he's so explosive. He gets the targets. And now with T Higgins back, you can't just double him or anything like that. And the Eagles
Yeah.
secondary is banged up. Don't know if Slay's going to play. So yeah, and Bengals are hot. So I got over 77 and a half.
And the Bengals are also kind of playing for their season too. Like they're team borderline, desperation mode. So they're going to come out and play.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably excited about this game. Like this is two good teams that are also they're both kind of having like I don't want to say down seasons, but they're facing a little bit more adversity than we're used to
Yeah.
seeing from them. I'll go with my next one. We're gonna go with Jameis. We're going with Jameis. Jameis is leading the Browns to glory. Maybe not glory, but his passing total is favorable. I know for a fact they're going to have to throw the ball just because of the situation they tend to put themselves in anyways. Jameis loves to throw the ball. The line's at 223 and a half. I don't have a single stat to back this up. I just know Jameis likes to throw. And he will make his mistakes, but he will make his awesome plays as well, and I'm here for it. I'm going to watch every snap of that game. Over 223 and a half pass yards for Jameis Winston.
He does love to throw. It just doesn't matter which team he throws it to.
Nope, he doesn't care. He's just someone's going to catch it.
Next one, he had a really good game against the last time they played. So I think he's going to do it again. Drake London over 68 and a half receiving yards. He's getting peppered with targets.
Yeah.
And he has not gone under this line in the last 5 games. So I got that. Drake London over 68 and a half receiving yards.
My fantasy football team is benefiting from that as well. Drake London's my number 2 receiver and is having a great year for me. Last one for me, we're gonna go Najee Harris. We're keeping it super simple here. Najee's rushed for over 100 yards his last 2 games. I don't know the last time he did that 2 games in a row, so I'm slightly worried because of that. But I don't know. He's got a different energy when he's running, and he's facing the number 32 ranked run defense in all of football in the Giants. So 64.5 is a super easy total, I think, for me. That's very palatable. If it was like in the 80s, I'd probably be like, I don't know, but 64.5, I think Najee can do that. I'm going to take the over there.
He for
And
sure
then
gets the volume, so it's basically just is he efficient
if
with
he
it.
gets his, I feel like if he gets his 16 to 18 carries, he's got it. I think he's going to get
Yeah.
there. All right, last one. Yeah, I know you're excited about this one. Let's go with a random touchdown. What do you got?
Many of you people may not have heard of this guy.
You might have to
He
look him up.
is the backup tight end for the Broncos, but soon becoming the starter. He's starting to get more work because the starting tight end is more of a blocking. So this guy's, the vertical threat of the two. Pitt alum Lucas Kroll, tight end for the Broncos, plus 700 for a touchdown. Carolina is horrible against tight ends, so I'm a take the value of a vertical threat tight end plus 700.
I love that, and there's thought into it as well. That's great.
Picked
All
him
right,
up in
so
my dynasty
mine's.
team. Got a
Oh,
feeling.
he's in your. Okay, you're not. He's not starting, is he?
No, no, no. Kyle Pitts starting.
I got you. So mine's a little less inventive. I'm going to go with Cavante Turpin. First of all, I think the Cowboys are due for kind of like a bounce back game. They had the bye to get themselves right. They're going to be on the road, which you would think is like bad, but they're 3-0 on the road. They generally play better. When they're at home is when they really have problems. I don't know why, but go ask them. But Cavante Turpin, he's involved in a lot of like the gadget plays and around some jet sweeps and stuff like that. Pretty explosive guy, so it's kind of like it's like a home run hitter, so it's a little bit boom or bust. But I got a pretty solid feeling, and for the value, I know they're going to score better. 49ers defense hasn't been all it's cracked up to be also, and they're a little banged up. So Cavante Turpin's at plus 400 for a touchdown. I think he gets one for us. Um, and that's you got anything else?
Nope.
Anything else
I
random?
look. I looked at Turpin and Torbert as well for mine. So I like yours as well.
Good. All right, well, short and sweet. That's going to do it. Good luck this weekend. Good luck to myself as well. Next Wednesday, we'll be back with our college football podcast, so make sure you stay tuned in for that. And we will see you guys next time.
Sounds good. See y'all.